Good afternoon and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our YouTube chit chat. I'm now acutely sure, and that is 100%, that the ladies gang in cahoots with other people who pretend to be the good subscribers of IAM-MARWA, and it is Nasto, wants to destroy the relationship between IAM-MARWA and its Nasto going forward. And why am I saying so? I'm saying so because the moment IAM-MARWA come back, there has been push and pull, mostly at Nasto's channel, even at the comment section if you happen to visit. Others, the known people, are now telling Nasto, do not visit IAM-MARWA. Don't even try go there. Majority of people are now telling Nasto, no, you have to phone IAM-MARWA. Please go there. This one is being done in a broad day life and in a public live chat because they not fear at all. And secondly, the majority of people are now from the lazy gang because most of them have gone and subscribed to its Nasto with other new channels. You don't know them. But what they do is like they start pushing its Nasto and causing confusion that Nasto should pull out from IAM-MARWA's sanctuary. And this begs the question, why would they want to destroy the existing relationship that has ever been? Another question is there any other kind of issue and turmoil between Nasto and IAM-MARWA? And number three, why are the lazy gang hellbent of doing so to its Nasto? At the same time, they want to pull IAM-MARWA, they want to pull Nasto from IAM-MARWA sanctuary. At the same time, they are calling Nasto names, Green Snake and Smooth Operator, simply to mean that this guy is pretending, this guy has got ill motive, which nobody has come here to substantiate. Therefore, as Zach and as my opinion, as a matter of fact, I just call them the shenanigan extravaganzas, things that have got no standard origin and no one has approved them, because this is the things they like, throwing words from one place to another, giving people names, yet they don't have a substantial kind of a ground to believe that there's nothing in between these people. They try creating drama, to create content, to vex, so that they want to rock the relationship. Countless times they've tried it. Now, the lazy gang are now calling it Nasto because that's why Nasto decided to come up with a video to explain more of it. Yes? And our focus of this or today's deliberation is going to focus whether there is a slender relationship between IAM-MARWA and its Nasto, and why Nasto decided to come up and address the rumors or the spelling, the confusion, and why the lazy gang are on the forefront, wants to rock the relationship between Nasto and IAM-MARWA. You know? So if you want to get to know all those kind of matters and facts, please stay tuned here, because more is going to be unraveled at the progression stages of this video. To my loyal subscriber, may God bless you abundantly, because without you, this channel wouldn't be at this pace. So let's dive in after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube chit chat. My name is Zach and this is my YouTube channel. So let's dive in straight away, lest we forget. So guys, the question that I ask you there above, that who stands to benefit when the destruction of a relationship between IAM-MARWA and Nasto happens? And how is Nasto stand to benefit when such kind of a relationship destroyed? Those are the questions that we need to answer ourselves. And the third question is Nasto contemplating of moving away or not? And if Nasto moves away, what shall be the benefit? Therefore, the question that we should be asking ourselves, how is Nasto will benefit if the relationship itself is destroyed, or how he will stand to benefit. Because, before somebody tells you to move out from somewhere, or if you decided you are moving out, or you are bolting out of a particular kind of relationship, which means you shall have scanned the environment properly, knowing that this is how you stand to benefit before you take a particular kind of risk. To me, I believe Nasto cannot bolt out of the relationship itself just because he's already benefited from that kind of relationship and he's continued to benefiting. Such that anything that the naysayers, the negative people who calls him names, the smooth operator and the green snake, want to give him, because he's already have things that he wanted in life at that tender age, such that he's not a guy to be impressed just by a mere token that he's already have. Therefore, there is nothing that Nasto would benefit, while the lazy gang and the naysayer wants him to slay the relationship existing between him and IAM-MARWA. And that is my take. So guys, a lot of things happened and were exuded by Nasto, because Nasto came to talk about the confusion that majority of people are creating and telling him to do or to bolt. Perhaps let's watch this video as we going to unravel the most important things and the reasons why Nasto cannot move out from the sanctuary of IAM-MARWA, because he stated them well. So
something that I'm also supposed to talk about. Actually, our big brother IAM-MARWA is back in the village, as most of you understand. And I've been seeing some of the comments, "Hey Nasto, why are you not visiting? Hey Nasto, don't go there." Trust me, among the people that I really respect, yeah, one of them is IAM-MARWA. I respect him so much because he's the guy, whatever we are doing here in our village, whatever all the YouTubers will see, he's the guy who introduced us to this platform. And people will always try to find reasons maybe to bring confusion or anything. I don't have any bad blood with my brother. I respect him so much. We usually meet on the road here, we do videos, just that and I know he recently came with the family, and that's why I'm giving him space, so that at least he can be with his family. We will visit. I know most of us will go and visit the family sooner or later. I know once, because right now there are so many things going around in the villa. He's trying to prepare the home. They also have the Land Cruiser. He's ensuring that it's also fit. There are so many things. So we, as the young YouTubers, we also have to, the biggest part in life is if someone shows you how to fish. Not every day you going there to get fish. So he showed us how to find like something for ourselves, and also like he showed us the way. So going there on video doesn't really mean, or not going there doesn't mean that maybe we have issues. No, I don't have any issues. I respect him so much. I respect the family. I respect the privacy that they have. I believe one day, they always say God's timing is the best. We will go there. I believe we'll have a party maybe one of these fine days. So it's just a matter of time, and all will be well. Because we've been meeting on the road. He's been advising me here and there. For now, what we are focusing on is just trying also to have like be strong, like have your own faith. And I really thank God that for all of you who always come back to watch our videos, I thank you so much. And also my thanks is to our big brother Maro for showing us the way. You see, all this we have through his guidance, his motivation. In this world, it's very rare for you to find someone who tells you, hey, you can do it, just keep on pushing, more videos, more success. It's very rare for you to find such people, and that's why for me, I'm forever grateful, forever grateful. And for everyone who has opened doors to
come out to dispel the negative rumors, because this negative rumors was impacting Nasto a negative way, because some kind of a subscriber and audience who are so loyal to both of them would at one time decide to boycott. So it was a prime time and a good time that Nasto stood the test of time and come and dispel and address this issue, because it was confusion. It was confusion. So if you understand well the Nasto has addressed 7 points. And these 7 points, these are the reasons why Nasto cannot even contemplate bolting from the relationship between them and IAM-MARWA. One, Nasto demystifying the rumors or dispelling the rumors. What was the rumors? The rumors are outside there that the negative people are dispelling and hurling around their YouTube street. That there is a strained relationship between IAM-MARWA and its Nasto. And that's why Nasto had to come and tell you nothing like that in between them. The relationship is intact. And Nasto has told us that several times they always meet along the way. When IAM-MARWA headed to Nyabuhanze, to the center, they advise each other what's supposed to do. And more is coming, because majority of people is going to see these guys are together. So Nasto had to come, because these are the things that were also affecting the moods of the audience and subscriber, because they wanted to know. Because these are the negativity being spelled out or hurled out by the lazy gang. Number two, the reasons why Nasto cannot move away from Marwa, why that kind of synergy itself, relationship itself has been synergized, is Nasto in this video has just give gratitude to IAM-MARWA, which means Nasto has just given IAM-MARWA its flowers. He's saying, everything that they're doing in the YouTube street and in the village, all the inspiration started from IAM-MARWA, and they got it from IAM-MARWA. And IAM-MARWA gave them for free. Therefore, he is not such a fellow who would come and bite the hands that at one point fed him. Giving gratitude itself is not simping. Giving gratitude itself is not being a coward. I know it's the lazy gang wants to be gratitude and being grateful to the person who have helped you, most to the IAM-MARWA. Therefore, you're being considered a coward. You're not a coward. You are just being humanly possible to give thanks where it's due, to give credit where it's due, to give somebody their flowers. Because there is always a saying that I always tell people, always stay away from a family member or from people whom you once time helped and they pretended that you never helped them. Stay away. And that's what IAM-MARWA is trying, to stay away from negative people. At one point, he offered them help, and now these are the people who are blackmailing him. And when IAM-MARWA stays away, these people now want to blackmail him that IAM-MARWA is selfish. Yet IAM-MARWA is the one who held your hand. So what's wrong when Nasto decides to come in this YouTube street and give gratitude where it's due? Number three, Nasto was dispelling merely a confusion that was created within the channel, because the subscribers were confused. Nasto also was confused because he couldn't believe that these are the subscribers and the people close to him, and now telling him all this kind of verbiage that's too bold. Guy, sometimes we must be so very wary of majority of people. It's a fact. All these kind of channels, people share subscriber. There are loyal subscribers that loyal to IAM-MARWA, that will never tell Nasto such kind of things. There are subscribers that will love you and will come to your channel. Then he belongs to a positive, negative gang. He comes because of your demeanor. He likes you, but he doesn't like IAM-MARWA. He doesn't like Nasto. Or he doesn't like person ABC. So the main aim of being there is to who you give so that you bolt out. So such kind of people also exist into our channel, into other people's channels. That's why others will reach you, gift you, and give you a warning that, guy, this is the way to go. Get out from that camp. And this is the confusion that Nasto came out to address, that people are telling him to bolt and not to go there. Because majority of people don't know what normally happens behind the scene. Number three, Nasto is telling us the reasons why you haven't seen them with IAM-MARWA. He hasn't gone to IAM-MARWA's place. It's because he's maintaining the boundaries. And why is the boundary is important? Because at that moment, IAM-MARWA has just come back, just barely a week, headed to 2 weeks. IAM-MARWA is supposed to be given time to bond with the family. It's supposed to be given time to put everything in order before friends started coming. I remember when Amaro came, and when Amaro arrived at home, Amaro told people that very many people are sending him messages. But he needs to take time to blend with the family, to rest, and also to sleep because of jet lag. Such that after 5 days or a week, he will be responding to people's messages and he will be welcoming people at his home. It's not yet time. The lazy gang has taken it in hyperbolic notch, spreading rumors that there is a slain relationship between Ibaro and his Nasto. No. Those are lies that Nasto had to come and. Because Amara also needs a privacy. So very important thing. You don't just bang to somebody's house because somebody has come back and yet you are never called. Because you know how Amara always calls his people and his boys if he wants them anytime. So there's an opportunity and a window that at one point these people, you'll see them together. You know? Nasto is telling us what has have happened at the scene, and that one brings us to point number 5. What is happening behind the scene? These people do meet. They are either meeting when Amara doing vlogs because they just close away, or they are meeting when Amara is headed to the shop or to the center of Nyabohanze because Nasto's home is just nearby the road, and that's where Amara passes when headed to Nyabohanze. So sometimes they've bumped to each other and we don't know. And sometimes they even done video yet to be released. We haven't seen the video. Therefore, at this moment, it's not right to tell that Nasto is lying to the audience because we haven't been shown. So when Nasto is telling you what is happening behind, you keep mute. So this is the revelation that Nasto is telling us. And again, Nasto also used a very permanent analogy, a very significant analogy that once a person has shown you how to fish, go fish. Do not go to his home to fish him. And this is what Gintu has been doing. Gintu was told how to fish, and instead he decided to fish IAM-MARWA. Nasto was telling people that be gratitude. Once you have been told how to work, please go and work. Do not do over dependency to IAM-MARWA because IAM-MARWA also need to grow. IAM-MARWA also needs space with his family. It's not at every time that IAM-MARWA comes in, then you go. This is the analogy, a simple. That if you cannot understand, therefore, I don't know what is it. If you cannot understand, therefore there is something is a problem. If you cannot understand, therefore, you're just doing it but with the content because people want to do content and you know it's the truth. You know, when Nasto came out and started addressing people and started giving gratitude to IAM-MARWA and using the fish analogy, therefore, these things angered the lazy gang. The naysayer. They came out in a broad daylight to protest. All of them protested. Because I saw New Trend protested the same. I saw JT protested the same. And I saw Nairobi Teacher protested the same. But I've decided now to come and deconstruct Nairobi Teacher because Nairobi Teacher was making a kind of allegation that was so interesting that I wanted to look out. You know, it's been long before I checked on him while deconstructing his statements going forward, respectfully, because it is just out of insult. It's just a fair commentary. No one will insult each other. Because, you know, this is it. There's something interested me when Nairobi Teacher took it and started calling Nasto several names. You know, I always tell people, if you don't know any other kind of information, you better wait for it because at the end, you might be embarrassed. So Nairobi Teacher decided to call his Nasto names, that Nasto is a liar and Nasto is lying to her audience. Then what really baffled me is I was like, Nairobi Teacher doesn't know what's really happening behind the scene. So when Nasto tells you what happens behind the scene, sometimes you can buy or you cannot. And that's why I always like giving simple analogy. When aquatic animal, you might think of a crocodile, comes out from the aquatic habitat, either sea or a lake, or any kind of a water habitant and tells you deep down the seas or deep down waters, there is a problem that it is considering changing an habitat and its ecological niche, not inside the waters, but outside. Being that, you know, crocodile can stay both in water and outside, that it will no longer goes back to the aquatic life. And it tells there's a problem. You better believe the aquatic animal, because that one is its habitat. It's telling you what is witnessed, rather than you believe your analogy than what the person who experienced that one is telling you. So I will go with Nasto 100%, because what he said makes sense. But according to the Nairobi teacher, what Nasto said is never making sense. Perhaps let's listen and read between the lines
before he can now welcome the outsiders. So there is where I see the lie in all this. The actual reason why he's not he doesn't want to visit Marwa. We all know it's because of D. We all know that it's because of D. Okay? Nixon Bereja, watch out, sing. Nixon Bereja. Stop that. Nixon Bereja, you're not a good person. Okay. Now, when you look at those circumstances, they actually don't make any sense, because they have been doing that. So is this the only time that they feel, no, we need to let him rest? Why did you not let him rest the other times that he's been coming? So it's now that you have just gotten your conscience and feel like, he needs to rest. Now, we all know he's been avoiding because of the last interaction that they had with D, which could have told no, he's a coward. Okay, he's the biggest coward. In fact, he's the biggest coward in that village. I'm telling you, that guy is the biggest coward of all those people there. He's the coward. He's the coward number one. Not even coward. And I'd say, no, he's not even a coward. Guys, he's not a coward. He has the potential to confront a person, but he protects his interest at all costs. And what is his interest? He doesn't want to go against the system. You will lose. Okay? When you are going against the government, right? This government is an established system. So for you to be able to go against the system, you have to have that, I don't know which type of bonds you need to have for you to go against the system and still come out of it and escape. You need to have D2 bonds, let me say that, or NT bonds. You see how D2 works against the system, and he's still thriving. He's still making waves out
his
there.
rants, as always. And I just want to deconstruct him because of the opposite analogy, because Nasto was so clear in his statement. Now, if the Nairobi teacher is telling us that Nasto is lying to audience just because Nasto said it was giving IAM-MARWA the privacy, then Nairobi teacher is telling us that Nasto decided not to go to IAM-MARWA place just because D was present, just because their relationship between and Dimwango suffered a big blow. And in that statement alone tells you that if Nasto is having a problem, or D is having a problem with his Nasto, therefore the relationship between IAM-MARWA and his Nasto is still intact, because if the problem is the D, therefore the problem cannot be the relationship between Nasto and IAM-MARWA. Are you getting that analogy? And Nairobi teacher, I know you'll watch it. I hope you are getting that a simple analogy itself. And secondly, to reconstruct the relationship between Nasto and Dimwango, Nasto himself came, there's no problem between him and Dimwango. That Dimwango was right. There is no way you can come up and start feeling somebody and without gauging their consent. That was the problem. It's not like of the permanent enemies. It's not like when you disagree to agree. That's how we exist in this world. We agree to disagree. So that when there is a mutual agreement or concurrent agreement or mutual agreement, therefore human beings exist and coexist to follow certain principle in life so that we behave friendly. So the problem was filming, not Nasto. That is it. The problem was filming, not Nasto. They had a problem when he exists and somebody is filming him. It's not like she cannot be where Nasto is, that he cannot be where Dimwango is. Several times they've been in a social place. The only problem was not the presence of Dimwango, nor is Nasto. The problem was filming. And that issue was addressed. So you are raising the issue of Dimwango out of context herein. I had also Nairobi teacher telling us that when Nasto mentioned that they've been doing video with IAM-MARWA, it was to the shock to my brother Nairobi teacher that even if he has not been in the YouTube street, he hasn't seen any video IAM-MARWA featuring Nasto or Nasto featuring IAM-MARWA. Yes, we haven't seen it. But the analogy I used, aquatic life animal, is the one at home, is the one behind the scene. These are the things that are happening behind the scene you might not be privy of. We have just been told the snapshot of it, a really brief of it, that kumbe, these guys have been meeting behind the scenes and making videos. The only question is, we haven't seen the video. And the only thing that you could see, and you beg Nasto, please bring the video, release the video. Because I know other Nyambohanzi people do videos. Sometimes people can do video for 1 week. They just accumulate them, just to awaiting time to upload them. It's the same reason why I want to tell you that IAM-MARWA has done several videos with Mayugno. Because Mayugno frequents visit at IAM-MARWA place. The only thing that you never see them doing videos, but they're doing video behind the scenes. That time will come for such videos to be posted. So that's the fact, my brother Nairobi teacher. That's out of respect, you know. So you believe, so we cannot call Nasto lying to the audience. That's a matter of fact. Huh? So Nairobi teacher is also asking a question that several times IAM-MARWA has come back home apart from this one. But everybody, all the YouTubers used to flock over there. Nairobi teacher, I want to tell you, times are so different. These times, IAM-MARWA has got a family, has got a young kid. IAM-MARWA has traveled far and beyond. Now he's back home specifically to relax and acquaint himself with home and set majority of things into place before he welcomes friend. By that time, IAM-MARWA was just loyal, was just single, and therefore he needed the majority of people because to comfort him, sit with him back at home, make a lot of story. So it was lonely. And again, by that time, IAM-MARWA invited the majority of people. And the majority of people trooped into IAM-MARWA home because IAM-MARWA told them to come. Specific number of time, IAM-MARWA has ever welcomed these people to come. Because when IAM-MARWA needs these people, IAM-MARWA will just only do a phone call away. And these people will troop to their home. I've never seen any time that Nasto busted into IAM-MARWA compound without being called. Most of it, IAM-MARWA calls him to come. And that's why how Nasto operates. And that's how MARWA operates. Those times, IAM-MARWA called people, hey, come. And IAM-MARWA was having party. And IAM-MARWA needed to prepare. So majority of people who came was to help IAM-MARWA and aid IAM-MARWA to prepare for the forthcoming party. And up to now, that IAM-MARWA is now going to have party today, Sunday. You haven't known whether IAM-MARWA has called Nasto. And maybe such as also the reasons why Nasto came out. And in that video, Nasto also talked about party and told us one of this time we'll be there and we'll be having party together. Now, are you seeing the correlation? Are you seeing how such kind of statements was leading. That's why sometimes I usually tell people, let's think before we decide whatever you want to do. Another one, we saw Nasto also talking about other things when Nasto started praising IAM-MARWA and giving IAM-MARWA its flowers. Nairobi teacher came in and countered Nasto that Nasto is a coward. I'm telling you, if you're giving gratitude, if you're giving somebody its flowers, that is not an act of cowardice. It's only to the lazy gang who will say that you are simping because you are just giving somebody his flowers. And that's why the lazy gang has mastered the art of calling anybody, talking good about mother, that you're a coward. And that's what now you're seeing is Nasto, not Nasto, Nairobi teacher is suggesting confrontation, that Nasto has got balls that he can confront IAM-MARWA. You see, they're bringing now the confrontation issues, because this is what they've been suggesting to Nasto to confront IAM-MARWA, so that they bolt their relationship. Confrontation. To the extent that is comparing Nasto and it's Gintu, that Gintu has got a steel balls, and that's why Gintu bolted out and still making shockwaves. The difference between Gintu and his Nasto, what Gintu stands to benefited from bolting out, you've just seen. Because at that time, Gintu had nothing. At that time, Gintu needed help, of which IAM-MARWA help was coming on the way, because Gitiriba was lined up here. Until Gitiriba was done with this, when Gintu was supposed to come in between. Then this is like it was taking long overdue. The impatience. Then Nasto was sold an idea to bolt out because it was these guys wanted to build him a house. And that's why I started my statement. Before you bolt out, you must ask yourself a question: what do you stand to benefit? As you compare to Nasto, what is Nasto stand to benefit when he bolts out? Nothing, because he's built a house, he's got a van, and plus everything. Subscribers are there, views are viewing. Nasto, Gintu, but that thing Gintu had nothing. So Gintu had to bolt and impress people because it was promised to be built house, and that's why you see the house is standing, the Jikasol is standing there, and that is the benefit that it was promised and was delivered. That's the promise that it was promised and it was delivered. So it is not an act of cowardice. So the lazy gang will always confront Nasto or anybody that their relationship with IAM-MARWA is well in touch and bonded. So what they wanted to do is like, they will suggest you confront, you have ball, confront this guy, you come out. And how many people have been confronted to confront IAM-MARWA and come out? And later, look at Alex, been damned. Look at majority of people who are so close to IAM-MARWA, who are told to bolt out. There are no more. And this is why I'm telling you that there is a lot of things that is happening behind the scene that majority of people doesn't know. That's why my question was, what do you stand to benefit when somebody tells you to benefit? To the lazy gang, what they want to benefit is like, they will want to show IAM-MARWA a middle finger. They will want to do content because bolting out will bring content. Are you there? They will want to discredit IAM-MARWA. That is what they want to do. They want to cause IAM-MARWA pain and enemies along the YouTube street and Nyaboanza itself. So that is their main objective and their main quest. It's not only that they love Nasto, because they also don't love Nasto. That's why they call Nasto the smooth operator, the green snake. So guys, let me know what you think at the comment section. Until next time, this is Senior Zach.